The abandoned monastery outside Epe was a place Lagos had forgotten. Built during colonial times, surrounded by thick trees and overgrown shrubs, it had once been a place of worship. Now, its silence felt cursed. Ngozi stepped through the rusted gates, her legs weak, her chest heavy. The air smelled of old stone, dried wood, and something else like dried tears.
"This place is cold,"
Stella muttered, wrapping her arms around herself.
"Even the birds avoid it."
"No tech here,"
Chuka said, checking his phone.
"We are invisible, at least for now."
They set up inside what used to be the prayer hall. Tall arcs, cracked stained glass, and Latin scriptures still painted across the ceiling, faded by time. Ngozi chose a corner and sat. The ground was dusty, but her mind was heavier. Her mother had died in the first Sanctus fire. She'd been born in that blood. She had the mark, and now the court wanted her heart to unlock a gate no one could understand. She closed her eyes, and the visions returned. A basin of blood, children's hands cut and raised, a masked man chanting in a language that didn't exist, a stone gate pulsing with red veins, and her heart beating in his hand. She woke with a scream. Meanwhile, deep in a villa on Victoria Island, Dr. Femi stood before Metro Modupe.
"Confirm the girl's location,"
Modupe said.
"Use the seer."
Femi hesitated.
"He charges in blood."
"Then spill some,"
she replied coldly. That night, in a clearing surrounded by candles, the court brought out a child, a mute, abandoned orphan from one of their fake medical outreaches. The high seer dipped his fingers in the child's blood and wiped it across his blind eyes.
"I see her,"
he whispered.
"She is in the place of forgotten prayers. The stone remembered the screams."
Dr. Benson nodded.
"Prepare the blades."
At the monastery, Chuka checked the perimeter again. It was silent, too silent. He stepped around the rear chapel, scanning the thick trees. Then he saw them, small red ribbons tied to the branches. 1, 2, 3. His eyes widened. A blood tray, subtle, intentional, like breadcrumbs for the possessed. He turned to run, too late. A dart slammed into his neck. Everything spun. He hit the ground. Inside, Stella was whispering a verse over Ngozi when the door exploded inward. Red-robed figures stormed in. Ngozi screamed. Stella fought hard, knocking one out cold, but there were too many. One of them lifted Ngozi, slamming her against the altar. Another covered her face with a cloth soaked in a dark-smelling chemical. Her limbs went limp. Her last vision before darkness claimed her. A burning circle drawn in salt, her body on a stone slab, and Modupe's voice saying, "Let the gates open now." Hours later, Chuka walked alone in the forest, bleeding and dizzy. His hand clawed something, a small piece of cloth torn from Ngozi's sleeve, soaked in blood, and carved into the tree beside him, still dripping fresh. The final rite begins at moonrise. Ngozi awoke on cold stone, her wrists bound, her ankles chained. She was lying on a slab in a vast chamber lit by hundreds of red candles. The ceiling ached like a cathedral, but the walls dripped moisture, and the air, its boost, low, electric, and alive. She turned her head slowly. All around her stood the circle, 24 robed figures, each holding a bowl of blood, each chanting in a rhythm older than language. In the center, just beyond her feet, stood Metro Modupe, her robe open at the chest, black symbols drawn across her skin. Beside her was Dr. Benson, holding a ceremonial dagger, curved like a serpent. Ngozi tried to scream, but her mouth was bound. A voice whispered above her, clear and cold, "The time has come. The vessel has remembered her birth. Now her blood shall remember the gates." Elsewhere in the burned ruins of the monastery, Chuka staggered through the ash, searching for anything, anyone. His head throbbed, blood crusted along the side of his face. Stella was nowhere to be found, but something was scratched into the altar, a number, coordinates, and beneath it a phrase in blood, "The temple beneath the monk." He knew where that was, the original Sanctus mortuary, long sealed off after a chemical incident. He ran. Inside the temple, the ritual began. Ngozi's chest was exposed, her heart beat wide beneath her skin. Modupe raised the blade, the chanting grew louder. Then, boom! The door of the temple exploded off its hinges. Smoke and gunfire, chaos. Ngozi blinked through the haze. Stella, face bruised, clothes torn, shotgun in hand. She did come. Behind her, Chuka, bleeding, limping, but alive. They fought like warriors. One cultist went down, then another, but there were too many. Chuka threw his last grenade toward the blood boils. The explosion shattered the stone floor, spilling blood in all directions. The chanting stopped. The dagger clattered to the ground. Ngozi screamed as the chains on her limbs began to burn, not from heat but from magic unraveling. Then everything shook. The ground split open beneath the altar. A great wind hurled upward, blowing out the candles. The light died. In the center of the temple floor, the earth opened, revealing a massive red-lit gate carved in ancient bone. It pulsed, it breathed. Something on the other side was moving. Modupe screamed.
You broke the seal wrong. You have awakened it prematurely.
The cults panicked. The red-robed figure scattered. One fell into the opening and vanished, swallowed by the gates like a moth. Ngozi freed herself just as the floor crumbled beneath her. Chuka reached out, grabbing her hand in time. Stella dragged both of them up the crumbling slope as the temple collapsed. The last thing they heard before the roof caved in: "She will still die before the blood call us back." Far away in a hidden chamber beneath the Lagos lagoon, the high seer sat in darkness. He dipped his fingers in fire, then whispered,
It has tested her. Now it wants more.
Ngozi didn't speak for hours. They escaped the crumbling temple just before dawn, hiding inside a gutted filling station on the outskirts of Aja. Rain slammed the tin roof. Thunder rolled through the sky like war drums. Ngozi sat wrapped in a torn blanket, her skin clammy, her heartbeat irregular. Chuka cleaned his bleeding leg with kerosene. Stella stood at the window, shotgun in hand, watching for shadows that moved the wrong way. None of them knew what to say, because all of them knew something had changed. Ngozi had seen it, the gates, and it had seen her back. By morning, her fever had spiked. She vomited blood. Her fingers trembled uncontrollably.
What's happening to her?
Stella asked, pressing a soaked cloth to Ngozi's forehead. Chuka's jaw tightened.
It's the mark, the one she carries. The ritual wasn't finished, but it started. Something is still connected to her.
She's going to die,
Stella whispered.
unless we stop it.
Back in the shattered temple, Dr. Benson staggered through debris, half his face burned, eyes red with fury. The red gate had vanished, sealed back into the earth, but its energy had left scorch marks across the ceiling. Modupe knelt before the cracked slab, hands trembling.
We failed,
she muttered.
The vessel escaped, the blood scattered.
Benson gripped her neck.
Don't speak of failure.
He growled.
Speak of vengeance.
The gate tested her,
she whispered.
We can still reopen it.
Benson turned to one of the surviving cultists.
Activate the fallback. Gather the remaining donors. Begin the blood harvest and find the girl.
In a dim secret house once used by military intelligence, Chuka made a decision.
We can't run anymore,
he said.
We fight now.
Stella frowned.
Fight how?
He opened a dusty metal case. Inside, a voice recorder, a memory stick, and 2 old police files. He placed them on the table. File number 1, missing infant from Sanctus 2019 to 2015. File number 2, whistleblower deaths, Nurse Adako, burned in storage closet in 2018.
I've been collecting this for years,
Chuka said.
Waiting for proof, waiting for someone like her.
Stella looked at Ngozi, unconscious on the mattress, sweating.
She doesn't have time.
Chuka nodded.
Then we'll give the world everything.
That night, a video drops. Anonymous voice, blood face, leaked files, footage from the temple, blood tanks, screaming patients, records of children taken, corpses harvested, politicians connected. Within 2 hours, trending across Nigeria, protests begin. New anchors tremble. By morning, the National Medical Council suspends Sanctus Care's license. Then the hospital vanishes, locked, gates sealed, every sign removed, a ghost. But Ngozi isn't improving. She begins speaking in tongues, words no one understands. Sometimes she levitates an inch off the bed. Sometimes her eyes roll back, and she speaks names, dead people's names, patients, babies, doctors. She is being pulled by the gate, and it wants her back. Ngozi opened her eyes, but she was no longer herself. Her body lay still on the bed. but her mind, her soul was floating above it, weightless and cold. She saw Stella seated beside her, reading Bible verses aloud, trembling as she flipped the pages. She saw Chuka in the other room, loading bullets into a pistol, eyes red from lack of sleep. She saw herself, but she couldn't feel herself. Then came the voice, low, ancient, inside her skull. You were born for the gates. You are the bridge between blood and eternity. Let's go, and we will give you peace. Let's go. Suddenly, her spirit was yanked downward, through the roof, through the city, through earth and fire and bone, until she stood once again before the red gates, glowing in a space outside time. A whisper wrapped around her like smoke. You are the key. She screamed. Back in the hideout, her body ached off the bed, floating. Her veins glowed red under her skin. Stella grabbed her shoulders.
Ngozi, you are not there. Come back to us.
Ngozi's mouth opened, but it wasn't her voice. I am the gate. Chuka burst into the room. He saw her levitating, her eyes white, her breath a whisper of wind. He aimed his gun, unsure what to shoot. Then she fell, hard and unmoving. They thought she was dead until she sat up suddenly and spoke clearly.
I saw it. I was there. I know where the final altar is.
Chuka leaned in.
Where?
She looked at them, eyes filled with something both terrified and powerful.
The Lagos lagoon, beneath the water. They built a chamber in the 1960s, covered it, hid it, but the gate is there, waiting.
Meanwhile, Dr. Benson stood in a helicopter, flying low over the water. Inside the cargo hold dozens of sedated patients, all matching the same blood type. He wasn't wasting time anymore. He was preparing the mass offering.
The vessel is almost ripe,
he said into his phone.
She's been awakened. The gate is choosing her. The rest is blood.
On the other end of the call, Metro Modupe stood in a shrine lit with crimson oil lamps, slicing open her own palm, whispering,
We bleed tonight, we rise tomorrow.
Chuka made contact with a whistleblower, a former military engineer who helped design the hidden chamber under the lagoon. Now homeless, addicted, talking nonsense on the streets. But when Chuka showed him Ngozi's photo, the man sobered instantly.
You? You are the one?
He whispered.
I saw them draw your face on the wall before you were even born.
He drew a crude map in the sand, a pipeline, a locked tunnel, a secret door beneath Elegushi beach. That night in the storm, Ngozi walked alone toward the shoreline. The waves crashed, the wind howled, but she felt the pull like a rope in her chest. And just as she reached the rocks, a red light paused beneath the waves. Then a voice rose from the depths. Come home, child. A hand of pure blood reached out from the water. Ngozi stood at the shoreline, rain dripping down her face, eyes locked on the pulsing red lights beneath the waves. The hand of blood reaching toward her hovered just above the water's surface, fingers calling slowly like an invitation. She took a step forward.
Ngozi!
Stella's voice rang from behind her. Ngozi turned. Stella and Chuka were racing toward her, soaked and panting.
Don't go near it!
Chuka shouted, raising his torch.
It's a summoning trick. They are calling you through your bloodline.
Ngozi looked at her trembling hands. The veins beneath her skin were glowing faintly red.
I feel it,
she whispered.
Something's alive down there, and it knows my name.
An hour later, they stood in a boat offshore, guided by the drunken engineer, Captain Kalu, the only man still alive who had touched the hidden base beneath the lagoon.
It's not just a tunnel,
Kanu slurred, hands shaking on the tiller.
It's a womb. The corpse built is like a temple. Blood runs through the walls. The lights come on when it's fed.
Ngozi stared ahead. She could feel it calling her, pulling her.
I will go down,
she said. Chuka gritted his teeth.
You are weak. You are marked. That place could kill you.
She looked him in the eyes.
It will kill all of us if I don't go.
The tunnel entrance was located deep beneath a rusted dock, covered by coral and chains. They dived in, breathless, descending through black water until they found it, a circular door carved with the veil sigil, glowing faint red. It opened on its own. Inside, a silence. No bubbles, no water, just air and heat. They stepped into the hidden base. It was like stepping into the lungs of a beast. Organic walls that paused faintly, red pipes running through the ceiling, flickering lights that reacted to heartbeats.
This is not man-made,
Stella whispered.
No,
Ngozi replied.
it's blood-made.
Deeper inside, they found the mass offering room. 12 patients lay in a circle, sedated. Tubes ran from their arms into a central vat, a pool of dark blood, thick and alive. Chuka reached to unhook one. A whisper echoed, "Take one, we kill 10. They froze, and then he appeared, Dr. Benson, flanked by 2 guards in ceremonial red scrubs. He looked tired, his eyes sunken, his hands trembling, but still holding the dagger carved from the first sacrifice's spine.
Welcome,
He said softly.
we have been waiting.
Ngozi stepped forward.
You burned your hospital. You tortured your patients. You killed your own staff. What more do you want?
Benson smiled.
Your hearts.
Before anyone could react, he plunged the dagger into the vat of blood. The room shook violently. Red smoke burst from the pipes. The lights turned black, and from the center of the floor, the red gate began to rise. Stella fired her shotgun. A guard dropped. Chuka tackled the other. Benson turned to flee. Ngozi sprinted after him. They crashed into a secondary chamber, this one even older, with bones built into the walls. Benson grabbed her by the throat.
You think you are the hero? You were bred for this. Your mother's bloodline was chosen. She was a virgin offering. You are our creation.
Ngozi kneed him in the guts, grabbed his own dagger and plugged it into his heart. He gasped, staggered, then smiled.
You are ready now.
He whispered and dropped dead. But the red gate did not stop rising. The blood vat boiled, the walls cracked open. A massive blood-covered being began crawling from the opening. It faced a shifting blur of babies, nurses and mothers lost. It whispered,
Thank you, Ngozi. Now we are born.
The monster pulled itself from the red gates, dragging a body of liquefied faces and skeletal limbs. It didn't walk, it crawled, fluid and terrible, as if shaped by the spirit of every lost soul Sanctus ever consumed. Chuka aimed and fired. The bullets went in. The monster laughed. It wasn't a sound, it was a memory. A baby's first cry, a mother's death scream, a nurse whispering a final prayer before her throat was cut. Ngozi stumbled back, her eyes wide, her body frozen in place. It looked at her, not with hate, with ownership.
Your blood opened me. Your breath called me. Your heart completes me.
In the background, the temple walls split apart, pipes bursting, blood flooding the floors. The unconscious patients in the circle began to convulse, their bodies absorbing the energy from the gate. Stella ran to one, pulling tools from his arms. "Help me!" she shouted. "If they die, it finishes the feeding." Chuka joined her, unhooking lines as fast as he could. Ngozi just stood there. The creature was walking toward her now. Its body shifted. Her brother's face appeared for a second, then her mother's, then hers. She fell to her knees. "I didn't ask for this," she whispered. It crossed in front of her.
But you were born for this.
Then it reached out and touched her chest. Ngozi screamed. A violent blast of red light erupted from her chest, throwing the monster backward. She gasped, looked down. Her heart was glowing literally, pulsing, red hot through her skin. The gate was inside her. Suddenly, voices from the walls, from the blood, from the dead. Ngozi heard them all. "You must end the line, burn the blood or Lagos will fall." She stood, shaking.
I don't know how.
Then came a memory, Mameke's voice from long ago.
The blood was born from fire, and only fire can close it.
Chuka found an old fuel drum in the corner. Stella smashed open a gas line from the wall, then looked at Ngozi. She didn't speak. She walked slowly to the center of the altar, every step leaving a bloody footprint. The creature watched her, not moving, not attacking, almost reverent. Ngozi climbed onto the slab. Then she raised her hand.
Do it!
Chika hesitated.
What?
Burn it! All of it! Me included. Chuka, do it! I am the key. If I die, it dies.
Stella moved forward, tears in her eyes.
Ngozi, there has to be another way.
She smiled faintly.
Maybe in another life, but not this one.
Before Chuka could move, the floor exploded. The creature roared. Ngozi was thrown into the pit. Gone. Silence followed. Then, the red gate closed. Just like that.